Was it too much to be matching, was
it? It was too much. Right, Dave, let's check if we're live. Hopefully, we are all lovely and live. Let's have
it? Lovely and live.
Lovely and live. We always know we're live once we're on the correct page. I'm still not getting it. Yes.
I always enjoy the race as to whether you'll see it on your Facebook first. There you go.
I have to check. The thing is, it's kind of over the years, it's been a thing that we have to check.
Yeah.
That we are.
I don't think not once have we ever not been live when we click the button. You know, so how many episodes now? Over 200 episodes.
It is pretty crazy.
100% live success rate, and yet we don't leave anything to chance.
Who's first today? Who we got? We got Simon. How you doing? I hope all is well. Yeah, that's what. If you have joined us, do say hello. Do drop a comment. Let us know where you're watching from, what you're up to.
Sam Weller.
Sam, wow, it's been a while since you've been on the Tuesday Tune-In. Great to see you on here, mate.
It looks like he's. I can see the tiny little picture of him. Is that on top of Nangaskar? It looks like it could be on the acclimatization day from Dingboche. So, Sam, let us know. Tell me if my mountain knowledge is correct or way off.
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, Sam, how you doing? Evertrex here, of course. Angus, nice to see you on here. Andrew, Carl, yeah, we are definitely live. And Jerome, you actually found the live this week. Well done, mate.
Yeah, I saw him earlier. He was cranking up his laptop, and it's alive.
And he didn't even need a link. But yeah, great to see you on here, Jerome. I hope all is well. Yeah, as you may notice a little bit of festiveness creeping in. We've got a tree over there,
Dave? A bit of tinsel and a tree you can just about see in the corner.
We haven't gone all out, but hopefully this is enough. For hopefully over the next couple of weeks we'll step up the festive decorations.
Yeah.
But yeah, really excited. It's been a mad. Busy time for us. Obviously, the season in Nepal is kind of come to an end. We've still got our last people out there due to travel back, and then we've got our last trip actually coming up this weekend, which is Kilimanjaro.
Yeah,
which is mad, isn't it? And it's been a busy year, Dave.
Oh, it's both. It's the saddest time of the year and yet my favourite because all the hard work is done, the adventures have happened, and now we can go and have a few bevies. But it's good to hear, people like Sam Weller. He says, love DBC, now booked in for Tour de Mont Blanc. Amazing, Sam.
Fantastic.
He's capturing all the different flavours of adventure there. He's got Italy, Switzerland, France coming up. He's been to Nepal.
He's spreading it a bit, but I love Jerome. Actually, Lauren sent me the link. Did she?
Did you not put it in email?
No, I thought I tricked Jerome again.
Yeah.
But Jerome, clearly it was meant to be. You found the link and you're here as always. And you always find a way, mate. Life finds a way. Whether that's if you're collecting rocks or you're finding links to, Facebook Live, Jerome, you can do it.
The Tuesday Tune-In, though, I like to think of it as its own mini adventure every week for Jerome. So he wakes up in the morning and he's like, right, where's it going to be today, lads? And he's got to hunt for it.
I put down the sunnies because it's definitely not sunny today. Hey Claire, how you doing? Bri, Rachel, how you doing? Today, so as I mentioned there, get a little bit festive. So we thought, we'll start December was talking about stockings and filling your boots and little kind of stocking fillers. And I feel like we haven't done a Tuesday Tune-In around equipment for a while.
Yeah.
So we thought, let's do that today.
Yeah, no, it'd be really good. I've just spotted something.
Okay. What have you spotted? Yes, and we'll definitely get into that. I feel like it's like magic, Dave.
Do you know what?
You can click when you click your fingers.
I just think, should we a Christmas wish?
Go.
There you go. So there you go.
That's amazing.
Do you know what?
That's so good.
Do you know what's great about it? I actually think now it has to appear at some point during the show. We can't start the show with it. It has to be.
Is that what it is?
It eats into your bit a bit, doesn't it?
It's okay. I'll get over it. I mean, it eats into the tree space.
Yeah.
Like, Brian, sorry, mate, you brought the tree's called Brian.
So we named the tree after Brian, have we?
Well, yeah, I think, he's, it's because he's got, it's an award speech.
It has been around. It's been around a while. It's getting on a bit, starting to bend in the back. But yeah, I get it.
Exactly. I've been through a lot. But John Goley, hey guys, EBC with you next year. Looking forward to it. John, is this your first Tuesday Tune-In, John? Always great to see if you're if this is your first one, and yeah, great to have you joining us.
John Goldy.
John Goldy.
What a name.
I know. Absolutely.
Yeah, stocking fillers though.
Stocking fillers. Well, Dave, we I know we did a similar thing last year, and also if you've been with us over a few years, that's why we like right festive time gives us an opportunity to talk about the smaller things that we need on treks.
I think this is probably one of my favourite Tuesday tune-ins of the year.
Okay, I know.
Because I don't have to. I do write down stuff, but I don't have to.
Well, when you said, okay, I've written my top 5, I wanted to guess, because obviously
we've worked together a while.
It's been a long time.
I know you'll get at least one of them, I think.
Well, I don't know. I've overheard, but I know the first 2. But there we go.
Yeah.
With stocking fillers, though, it's more about because we always get questions around what piece of equipment do I need, especially for particular trips. And I know like John going to EBC. Is the equipment that I'm going to EBC, is that the same as I need for Tour de Mont Blanc? Is that the same that I need to take on a 6,000 meter peak? And sometimes there are some differences. 80% of the stuff you've probably got, it covers majority of the trips, really, doesn't it?
100%. I think, if you've done Kilimanjaro, you could pretty much pack exactly the same bag, and you're not going to run into too much difficulty on EBC. In fact, I can't really think of anything that you would bring to Kili that you wouldn't bring to EBC. That might be an interesting one. Have you got one?
Yeah, I know.
If it's your Tanzanian visa,
this
it
is
doesn't
a test.
count.
No, it's not a Tanzanian visa. What happens if you want a really good sleep?
Oh, you're thinking AirPods or earplugs?
No. It's really flat.
Blow up mattress.
There we go.
Yeah, blow up mattress. That is one thing. Well, see, brilliant work, work.
It was just like, I just remember nabbing yours.
Yeah, because
on the Kilimanjaro.
I felt bad though, because I brought one, a blow up mattress, and the first few days I was like, oh, this is great, I'm having a good sleep. Andy didn't have one, and he was sleeping on. It was
pretty hard. I mean, I've slept in worse places, but it was.
But I think
you like a good sleep.
There was a coming together of circumstances. I started to get a bit of a bad back from sleeping on the air mattress, so a flat surface did me good.
Yeah.
And you had a bad back, and the hips were getting a bit sore.
They were.
But the reason I like the stocking fillers is because you need your boots, you need your jackets, you need your beanies, your gloves, but they're all big important things. But you almost take them for granted they're so important. You're going to bring your boots. Why are you worrying about it for?
Yeah.
Then there's the little things, those little things that just make a big difference. So you're either sat in the lodge and you're thinking, oh my God, I wish I bought that. Or you'll see someone with something and you think, that's a great idea,
Exactly.
And those little things are the little morale boosters, and they're the ones that I love.
Well, yeah, exactly. Especially if they're gifts, and gifts aren't always physical. We got some stuff coming up over the next few days and I put a little post out actually in the High Altitude Ever Trekkers group. Actually, whilst I'm here, I do need. I knew this wasn't plugged in. Just 2 seconds.
Nice, and what's that? What's Oh, for Christmas this year, Andy has got himself a laptop charger.
It just came out.
Oh wow, you were on fumes.
This is it. I didn't want the whole TTI to go down, just because the charger had fallen down. But look, my Christmas wish has been made. Mm-hmm. We now have power.
We have power.
That's not one of my 5.
That's not one of your 5. No. What should we do then? Should we dive right into it?
Let's do one each. I was like, after you.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, why not?
Well, I think the first one, and I mentioned this a few times before, and I've mentioned it so many that everyone's like, oh, you always mention that. But it is the nail clippers.
I knew you were going to say that's number 1.
Because I do a lot of trekking and a lot of skiing and a lot of stuff that damages your feet. This little thing here is a little keyring set of nail clippers.
Mate, you nailed it.
And what's great about those is, people always lose nails and things like that when they're doing a lot of trekking, especially if it involves a lot of steep downhill gradient. I was chatting to one of our friends, Tam, recently, who did Mera. He lost some toenails. You keep on top of that stuff. It's great, and I think it's one of the things that no one ever thinks about. We always think about our personal care. We bring our wet wipes, you bring our toothbrush. But one thing we don't think about is the old nail clipper. And this, I think, it's actually Victorinox, I think, which I think they make Swiss Army knives.
Nice.
And I think that was about a tenner.
Interesting.
Little stocking filler. It's on my keys.
But I know you're good with your hands.
Right.
Just because we're in the mountains doesn't mean we're savages.
We don't have to live like savages.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Jerome's got it. The Ever Clippers.
The Ever Clippers, mate. They're ever-present clippers.
It's weird. That sounds like the Ever Clippers. Sounds like a boat.
Yeah.
I don't know why. All I can picture with that word is a boat.
That'd be quite black sails, with the Ever Trek symbol.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll have to invest in one day.
Okay, right. On to my number 1. So I've gone boring.
Okay.
But for the first one,
Yeah, all right.
just for the first one, I've gone for some really nice merino wool socks. Yeah, I know.
Socks for Christmas in a stocking, unheard of.
Yeah, but you need them when you're trekking.
No,
and that's the point.
Do you know what though? It is a good point, and it is true that it's one of those things you really buy yourself.
I know, but this is it. Like all year, I got some socks that don't make it to the end of the year because they're rubbish and they have holes, and you're just like, okay, you're gone.
Yeah.
You always got to kind of reload and refresh. You could always wait for Christmas for other people to buy them. So why don't you give the knowledge and say, look, can you get me some merino wool ones? Can you get me some that actually I can use for my trip instead?
Yeah.
And Ever nailed it.
Ever nailed it. Exactly.
Everyone's coming out with this now. I think is that what it is, guys? We're just going to literally put ever and then words.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
Yeah, I think we should run with it throughout the entire TTE. Let's see how many evers we can come up with.
TTE.
TTE. Did I say
That's
TTE?
Tuesday tune ever.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the first time I think I've ever got it wrong.
I think let's just call it the tune in.
Yeah. The tune in.
Okay, back to you.
It's a really good one. This one, I am going to have to admit that it wasn't entirely my idea. So Reese,
there's been iterations.
There has,
yes.
But this was one I was just chatting to a new member of the team, Reese, who's with us now, and we were discussing, little things that can make a big difference to customers. And one of them was like, what about GPS tracking? And he said about an air tag.
Yeah.
I was thinking, what a great idea. So I'm going to put it out there that you can share the adventure with your loved ones by giving them an air tag.
Yeah.
They register it to their phone, but hand it to you, and you take it with you on your adventures. It's an amazing idea, because if I was tracking you, I'd be like, where is he now? Oh, he's in Dingboche today. Let's have a look on Google Earth.
Yeah, but what happens if he goes and he's actually in Australia, and you're like, ooh.
Well, there has to be
a different conversation.
I would say, depending on the relationship, I guess, depends on this. But it'd be great because they're so accurate.
Yeah.
They tell you which room you're in almost. So
really
I would be able to say, oh, look, that's where he is. I would love that. And I love them. So these are my AirPods. And I found a case where you can put an air tag in your AirPods. Now, this is where everyone's going to jump in and say, oh, you can track your AirPods. Only for as long as the battery lasts, where the air tag lasts about a year.
That is very true.
So
I like it, Dave. I like these.
Yeah. So
we haven't talked about that, because I think the tagging thing is something that, we've been talking about. I think it was a few years ago. I don't know if you heard of InReach, which is basically they make some of the expedition level communication devices. So if you're in the middle of Antarctica, you're in the Himalayas, you can send basic messaging, basic text, and No. Sometimes it's a nice update.
Oh, look,
we've made it.
He's just going up the mat. He's coming down quick.
No.
Yeah.
And essentially, but they are quite expensive. We were thinking of kind of this kind of thing. Can we introduce that? People can follow the journey. But I think this is a really good idea. Actually, I'd be interested to test it out and see if it actually does work.
I think it's amazing. Yeah, I would love it. I mean, I don't know. You could just live vicariously through your adventurous friend. Yeah. But why don't you be that adventurous friend first? That's the first one. I'd rather be carrying the tag than watching it. However, if one of your mates is going away and he's having an awesome time, it'd be an interesting way to follow it.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Right, number 2 for me.
Number 2, go for it.
So this is one that I think people always look for last minute, and that is adapters. Because one thing I bought years ago was a power adapter that is like universal.
The black one you carry around.
Yeah, I've had it for years, and it's battered now. It's been everywhere with me. But you know what? Because whether I'm in the States, whether I'm in Europe, whether I'm in Asia, it's all covered. So I don't have to worry that last minute about, oh my God, which one do I take? Is it 2-pin? Is it, if you've got a universal one, it essentially works everywhere, doesn't it? So I would say that if there's something on your list, and you have been good this year, put that on your list. It is honestly, it saves me time, and it also takes away a lot of stress of not having to worry about that stuff.
I agree. I think I like that bit of kit. You got that little black adapter. Yeah, I've never found one quite like that, and I do agree with you. It is a last minute thing. I know for a fact that I've bought 2 in boots at an airport on 2 separate times because I didn't look after the first one. Them. And the second time, twice on my way to places I bought them at boots at the airport.
Whilst we're on the subject as well, it's interesting just to throw out a question to the community. What things do you guys want for Christmas? Always, obviously, I know we're talking about trips maybe, but actually small things. What things you could use on a trek would you like for Christmas this year? Don't worry, I won't share it. But it'd be interesting to see what people say.
Yeah.
I'm interested.
Yeah.
What people want for Christmas.
I think. Are you ever Santa?
Well, you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, I've let the beard grow a little bit. It's not as long as it has been.
I'm going to send in a few ideas. I've got a few ideas that I'd like for Christmas this year.
Yeah. But post away, Dave.
Yeah. I will. Yeah. But they're not strictly trekking related. I need some new ski socks.
Oh, is that what it is? Socks. See?
Yeah.
Everyone
there you are.
Socks are boring, but you need ski socks.
No, I do need some new ski socks. Yeah. Do you know that? Funny enough, this is another one where I bought some cheap ones off Amazon.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that I learned in and the ones that I first ever used. And because they were cheap and on Amazon, I never really looked after them, and I ended up buying a set of merino wool. They were rubbish. I miss the Amazon ones. Sometimes it's not about spending the most amount of money on the most amazing piece of kit. Exactly. But awesome.
So that's two. What about yours, Dave?
Yeah.
Let's keep this party going.
So yeah, number 3 for me, and this is one that I think is one of the single most useful tools in the world, is my head torch.
I'm gonna have to cross that
out and think of it really quickly. Yeah, I think a head torch is great because it is stocking sized. You can get a relatively good one for relatively little money. My one sits around the gear stick in my car.
Nice.
And you would be amazed how many times I've thought that would be good, and I've reached for it and grabbed it.
Nice.
I got a storage lockup. There's no lighting in there. If I go there after 5 o'clock in the winter, I'm walking around with my phone trying to find things.
Got no.
I have got the light on the watch, which is so bright, but I don't always think about it. But I do think, the head torch, put it on. I used it yesterday.
Yeah, that's interesting. Head torch, but you'd also need it for a trek.
It is also functional for trekking. I actually, funny story with head torching. When we did the training weekend, I remember I had this black diamond head torch.
Yeah.
And I put it down, and then we all packed our stuff up, and then you must have packed up my head torch, right? And so for about 6 months, I was I was looking for this head torch for ages, thinking, where is it? So I bought myself a new one.
Brilliant.
And then when I went trekking with Jen in Morocco, I was like, that's a nice head torch. Where'd you get that from, Jen? She was like, oh, Andy gave me this one. I was like,
well, it was, it passed down.
Yeah, but I like it. Now that head torch that I bought made it onto someone else's head, totally accidentally, on their own little adventure. And I just think to myself, you like the way little head torch.
Kirsty Spencer, can't wait to do Tour de Mont Blanc with Evertrek. Will be my first big adventure. Excited, Kirsty.
Amazing.
You're gonna love it. It's it's definitely a toughie. I'm sure Jerome definitely. I can see his message there. It's hard. Message me if you want. Definitely a challenge. But really excited to have you on as an Evertrekker. This is the start of your journey. I know a lot of Evertrekkers on here have been on a few. Bri, all I want for Christmas is a trip to EBC.
Yeah.
I knew he wants to do the Everest Marathon.
He does,
you should go out there next year.
Yeah, I mean, we could make it. He should have got it done in Black Friday.
He should have.
Yeah.
Yes, he should have.
That would have been the idea.
He's fresh off a trip though. He's just come back from Toubkal.
Yeah.
He's trying to defrost because it looked like it was, sub-zero temps over there. So
yeah.
We can give him a little bit of time. It's all good.
Go for it.
This is me.
I would skip head torch.
I'm going to skip head torch.
Think of that.
But there are a couple of others. There was one that I thought could squeeze into a stocking.
Right.
That's the bottle in front of me here. Getting a decent water bottle, like whether it's the Nalgene, whether it's actually, you get the metal ones, or you get a filter bottle as well. You need it on a trip. Small enough to fit the stocking, heavy enough to think like it's a big present. She gets really excited about it. When you open it, it might not be something massive, but it's something you'll be using on every trek.
I mean,
it's really important.
Hang on a minute, and I reckon I can sell that a little better.
Go on then.
Because this is actually no ordinary water bottle. Not only is it Evertrek branded, which actually makes it scientifically 3.5 times better than any other water bottle without considering the other features. This is actually made by a company called Water to Go. Mm-hmm. There's no filter in here, is there? Normally there'd be a filter on the end of there.
Water, so
but it's a waste if you're using the filter in the UK air tap water.
This is it.
So save it. But these things are amazing. I will say that I have used a water filter bottle ever since I became aware of the technology.
Yeah.
Um,
Makes a difference.
It makes a massive difference. Knowing that you can just scoop up water from pretty much any water source, use it in this bottle, and you're not going to get sick. And on EBC, in a lot of the lodges, there are taps and things like that you see people brushing their teeth with. Not me, mate. I fill up the water bottle, then use it to brush my teeth. So it's completely filtered. But as I said, all of that is secondary to the Evertrek branding that does make it 3.5 times better than any other water bottle.
Brilliant. It's actually interesting. This particular bottle actually drunk out of the same flowing water the Incas used to use.
Did you?
Yeah. When I was out there, so they had these kind of troughs of water, essentially, where they used to get they funnel the river through. And I thought, excuse me, obviously I have the water filter. Let's test it. Still here now.
Yeah.
Filtered it really well.
So you've literally got like the life source of the Incans flowing through you.
I feel like, that's exactly.
Yeah, I have actually used it, not this bottle, but my one.
Yeah.
I have drank from waterfalls in the Atlas Mountains.
That's still powerful.
Still pretty powerful. I have also done it on Penavan.
Just as powerful.
Just as powerful. Just as powerful.
I know Carl's asking for a link to the bottle. I think, if you drop the message, Carl, we should be able to I know Vicky will be able to help in terms of purchasing them. We are in the midst of ordering some more stock. So even though we're like really promoing this, we are low on stock. But let us know if you want one. I believe it's £25 or £20 worth or two. Vicky, we can double check, and we can get you one just in time for Christmas.
Yeah.
But yeah, cheers, Carl. I know Vicky's on the comments as well. We can make sure that happens for you, mate. Definitely.
Awesome.
On to you, Dave.
This is one that I know for a fact I've not included on any other trip, on any other list.
I'm excited to hear this. Okay.
And that is a monocular, a pocket monocular.
Interesting.
Now,
Yeah,
it is
good
one
idea.
of those things, right, that I will walk past in a shop and will completely ignore. They're usually in that little glass cabinet at the front of Cotswold Outdoors, and I don't pay any attention to it. However, if you are stopping for a little bit of a break, and a member of the group pulls out his monocular and starts looking at it, you telling me you ain't going to ask for a look?
That's true. Well, do you remember? Sorry, I just saw Vicky bringing in Dougie the dog. He's been out for a walk. It's a bit rainy out there. Tom brought one in 2019. Yeah. And we were all the same. We were
all gagging for a go.
Tom, can I have a look?
There's a queue for a go. I remember. I think it was Tom again who we did a recent walk down in Cornwall.
Yeah.
And I think he had a little set there, and we were all like, let me have a go, like in trying to get it. And I thought to myself, do you know what? Be that champion. Be the member of the group that's bought it, so everyone else can have a go. It's fascinating and actually really interesting if you're on a trek, because you can see. I can think of at least 2 occasions on EBC when you see climbers on Ama de Blam, and you're walking by, and you can put that up, and you could literally just climb it with them.
Yeah, it's so good.
Another one was those like wild sort of mountain deer or goats that were clinging to the side of a cliff, and you can like watch them. And but the biggest thing was the climbers. It was amazing.
It is cool, isn't it? I took was it probably back in 2018? I took my big lens, and I was kind of taking some close-up shots of the mountains, and you can get some great shots from it.
Yeah. So I don't know why I don't know why it occurred to me today, but I thought, what one thing on the mountain draws attention whenever you pull it out, and I was like, not that, the monocular.
Yeah. Right, on to mine. I've had to mix this up a bit. I was going to go for this one particular thing, but actually I think there's 2. So I've got this one, you go back and then finish on me. So the one, I want to take some snacks, because I think any trek you go on, you need some decent snacks.
Some snackage, yeah.
Depends if you're a Cliff Bar fan, if you want some Kendall mint cake, even if you just want some plain old Snickers bars, whatever it is, I think load up with them. And they're always in Stockings, aren't they? If you can, get some decent snacks for Christmas, save them for a trek, perfect. I know it's boring.
So it's not boring. I just want to say, so Andy, he's going out snack shopping before he goes on a trek.
Yeah.
What snacks you putting in?
I do buy the classics. I buy some like ones that I like regardless of how I'm feeling. So I know I can munch on a Snickers bar if I'm feeling nauseous, or if I'm 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do Haribo sweets.
Which ones? Tankastics?
No,
You're not a sour guy, really.
No, I just prefer just give me the sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Just need the energy, and then also I'll take some. You got the SIS energy bars and gels. I'll take some of them.
See, my ones. Perfect. I like a bit of beef jerky.
Okay.
Because it's nice to have a little bit of meat. Because sometimes on treks you won't have had any for a while, so I do like to have a little bit of meat. Chocolate bars. I'm more of a Mars guy.
You like your Mars a day, don't you?
I'm more of a Mars a day. Helps you work, rest, and play.
We've got a lot of chocolates in here. You can tell it's Christmas. We've got a lot of like celebrations, heroes.
Yeah.
Although it's balanced because we've got heroes, celebrations, cookies, and then at the end we've got oranges. So we have balanced it out. They should actually. An orange always falls in a stocking.
They do, don't they? Like, you always get an orange in a stocking.
You do.
Yeah, and I think sweet cola bottles. I just like cola bottles.
Yeah, nice.
I'll sit there and just smash down cola bottles.
Right, I've done. Right, so this is your last one, Dave.
This is my last one, and then you've got some more.
I've got hopefully a good one.
My one is it's called Day 2, and it comes in a little bottle that you can buy on Amazon.
Okay.
And you use it to clean your clothes.
Nice.
And I always throw one in the duffel bag when I'm going on a trek, or to be honest, even if I'm going skiing or anything like that, because it just lifts your spirits a little bit sometimes if you've got something clean to put on. And these are great. It was actually recommended to me by a fellow Evertrekker, Mick Hamilton.
Yeah.
And literally you just pull out your manky old base layer or t-shirt or whatever, and you just spray it on the back, hang it up overnight. You put it on the next day. It smells like fresh linen, and it's just really nice.
Beautiful. And
it's antimicrobial. It's so good.
Nice.
And I remember taking it to EBC with me and not using it at all on the trek.
Yeah.
But when I got back, I realised that I'd only packed one casual t-shirt that I'd already worn in Kathmandu. I was like, oh no, I remember I had this stuff. I sprayed this stuff on there. Perfect. I was like, this is amazing. So yeah, it's called Day 2, and it's called Dry Wash Spray.
Fantastic.
So they sell it on Amazon. Have a look. Oh, I just thought of another awesome one as well, but carry on. You go.
Well, we can always have a bonus one, but I do want to answer some questions as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, my one is a bit more of a celebratory one.
Yeah.
Is that I do like a tipple every now and again. And especially, I've just had my birthday. I've had a lot of whiskey for my birthday. And when we get to a summit, I do like a summit little thing. So I'd like a new whiskey, new hip flask.
A new hip flask, yeah.
Yeah, I think hip flask is. I know it's not a technical piece of equipment, but being as though it's Christmas,
well, I mean,
it's one of those that I love to take on a hike.
It does make a big difference. I mean, me and you always have a little sip of a hip flask.
Have a wee dram
when you reach a summit.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got to be done.
It's just good to celebrate. Whenever you win, celebrate. It doesn't have to be whiskey. It can be I don't know, flavored water, whatever you like it to be. But I think a hip flask for me.
Yeah,
that has to finish it off.
Awesome.
Did you have a bonus?
I have a Brucey bonus.
Ooh, okay.
The cool towel.
Interesting.
The ice towel, rather. Ice towel or cool towel.
But in hot temperatures.
In hot temperatures. So,
yeah.
In fact, I use it on pretty much any trek.
I was going to say, use it on a lot. Yeah,
these are just such a magnificent piece. I don't understand how the technology has not made someone a billionaire, because it's so good.
Yeah.
You have these cool towels or ice towels. You soak them in water, wring them out, flick them a few times, and they stay cool for like up to 2-3 hours. They're fantastic.
Yeah.
And whenever I'm doing like a lot of trekking in a hot area, particularly I'm thinking back to Tupkal, it's just amazing. That's true. It just meant that I could just trek and feel like everyone else feels without overheating. So yeah, that's my Brucey bonus.
I do like the cool towels. I think I've seen you use them when you've been struggling, because you run quite hot, especially on like if we're in the Atlas Mountains, or even on EBC, it could be warm during the day. You're talking 15-20 degrees. You're definitely sweating, and you've got to have something to cool you down.
100%. Do you know what? It is a game changer. When we went to Mount Tupkal in October, it was still really hot, I would say, on the way up. And having that ice towel, I remember I stopped for lunch, remembered I had it, soaked it a bit, put it on, and I kept it on for hours. It was just, I was walking uphill in hot temperatures feeling like, oh my God, I'm not overheating. Fantastic.
Exactly. Just see the comments as well. We got Hannah. Hey, how you going, Hannah? So excited to be Tour de Mont Blanc doing Tour de Mont Blanc in 2026. Awesome. Asking about altitude, we'll definitely come on to that. Just before we do go on to the questions, you may have seen in the email this morning, and we also as well be putting more on social media over the next kind of couple of days. We're actually doing our Yeti Yuletide Challenge. So basically, over the last couple of years, we've done the first one don't know if you recall, we did like cold dip. So the more we raised, the longer we had to stay in cold water. Last year, we did kind of step up challenge, which was on a Stairmaster. It was good bloody exercise, but it was quite hard. So all of us had to do.
That was a hardcore one.
That was tough, wasn't it? But it was great, and we raised like the first year. I think we raised about £2,000, even more last year. And this year, we wanted to change it up a bit. We wanted to kind of mix it up with the charity. So we have been in touch with this fantastic charity called Andy's Man Club. Don't know if you've heard of it. Nothing to do with me, of course. But yeah, they are a mental health charity and suicide prevention in mainly men. They offer like peer group support, and obviously time of year, very difficult for many people. But anyway, we wanted to support this charity. So this year, we're going to be raising money for Andy's Man Club, which we're really excited to do. And as part of that, so the Yeti Yuletide Challenge, so obviously the team are going to do it, but we want you guys to do it as well. So obviously, if you want, now I will bring up a little.
Have you got it?
I've got a little caption. Now I know what people are going to think when it's hashtag in the buff. But basically, what we're doing is so there's a couple of things. There's actually 3 ways you can get involved. So the first one is that any bookings in December, we're giving £50 from the business to Andy's Man Club. So if that's all bookings, so that's the first one. If you book in any trips in December, obviously you're not only helping yourselves by going on an amazing adventure, but you're actually helping people here in the UK as well. So absolutely fantastic. So that's one thing we're doing. We're also setting up a Just Giving page, which I know Vicky will be posting the link to. Now, this means that any donations of more than £20, we're actually going to be giving. We'll send you out a free buff. So anyway, this is the reference now to in the buff. Now, what we'd like you to do, because as part of this challenge, is that we're going to be aiming to essentially the amount of steps that it would take to climb Mount Everest. And as a team, we're doing that every day from I think it's from the 6th of December to the 12th. Anyway,
is it the 9th to the 20th?
Or the 9th to the 20th. I knew that. Yeah, I was waiting for the time.
Yeah.
So essentially, we're going to be getting out there every day, doing our steps, as a team. And obviously, you can get involved as that as well. So you can get out there, do your steps, whether you want to do it yourself, whether the height of Everest over that time period. It'll have all the details and information on the Just Giving page, and we'll obviously put it out on socials. But I just wanted to kind of, this is the first that anyone would hear about this specifically. So it'd be awesome if you got involved. Obviously, any money then you raise, because you can set up your own Just Giving pages as well and connect it. And the more we raise, obviously, then we can raise as much as we can for Andy's Man Club. So yeah, I thought it was a really good one this year.
Yeah, so we touched on so the way that the community can get involved as well is by doing a very similar challenge, but they don't have to do it every day.
No, exactly.
So
there's quite a lot of us.
We're going to do it every day.
Yeah.
But if on an individual level, if you wanted to take part, on average, it takes around 60,000 steps to summit Mount Everest.
Nice.
So 60,000 divided by the 12 days is 5,000 steps a day. So what you guys
more than achievable.
Yeah. So, but it could mean a lot to you guys. It could be the catalyst for getting out there and spending some time in the mountains and get that fitness journey. It might also help you. Andy's Man Club, such a great charity helping prevent suicide in men, because they want people to talk and be open and to get the help that they need before it's too late. And one of the big things they've said is that, if you're not able to donate, please just share the link.
Yeah, exactly.
Because awareness is just as important, because for every person that sees the link and donates, there might be another person that sees the link and becomes aware of Andy's Man Club and decides to reach out and use the service and do something before it gets out of hand. So such a meaningful cause. Let's get involved and let's smash it.
Exactly. And that's so hashtag in the buff is that if you are involved and you do want to wear your Evertrek buff, I know some of you have got some anyway, it'd be great to see you out and about doing your steps in the buff. Now, the way we're thinking it is like we're bearing all for mental health essentially, but you don't obviously have to do that. It's just that in the Evertrek buff, share it on social media. Obviously, you've got a hashtag in the buff as well, and don't forget to tag us in any stories on Instagram or on Facebook, or post it in the community as well on the private Facebook group. So it'd be great to kind of see how you're doing, and I think the more we post it, the more we share it, obviously the more we raise. And look, I know this is it's always a difficult time this time of year with obviously cash and things like that. So we appreciate that you don't have to donate, but it would be, as Dave said, it'd be awesome if you did. So the more we raise, obviously it's great for to donate as much as we can to Andy's Man Club. So yeah, anyway, I wanted to just mention that. I know that Vicky has posted the Just Giving page there. There's a lot of information on there, and obviously you can donate as well. And for any over £20, you do get another free buff. We'll send that out to you. So
awesome.
Thank you so much. Right, Dave, we'll take some questions. I know we've got another 10 minutes. I know there were some questions. I know. Hey, Diane, how you doing? I just saw popped up on the.
Yeah, I've got a quick question from Andrew Rooks.
Okay.
Hey guys, signed up to Island Peak last week looking for help with the B2 boots. So Andrew, actually, the advice that we're thinking these days is that B3s are probably what you want to be aiming for.
Yeah.
Something like the Scarpa Phantom 6000s. So what's happened? It used to be that B2s were perfectly suitable for things like Island Peak, which is a 6,000 meter peak, but it's not the most extreme. However, due to a few changes, one is in the weather and climate change is making the weather at high altitude a little bit more unpredictable. And if it does go unpredictably cold, then your B2 boots may not actually be sufficient. You'll need those double layer B3s. The other reason is that they broadened the spectrum of B2 boots to such a degree now that it's no longer a catch-all phrase. So B2 boots could be summer boots for hot temperature climates, or the further end of the spectrum for cold temperature climates. But in order to get the right boots first time, I would say, go for the Scarpa Phantom 6000s. There's also similar ones from La Sportiva and things like that. Yeah. But actually the reports we're getting and the feedback we're getting is that the Scarpa Phantom 6000s, they're purpose built for climbing 6,000 meter peaks in the Himalaya. Yeah. Dual layer, definitely be warm enough. The crampon's not going to move on them. Those are the ones that we'd recommend. Yeah, exactly. And it's a really good question, because especially if you're looking for them, I think historically, as Dave said, B2s were more than enough. I think as weather is becoming more challenging, and the design profile of those boots have changed. Yeah. Some of them have had double layer boots, some of them have had more insulation than others. Some B2s who used to have the third layer, but they weren't actually that stiff. Yeah. So it's mixed a bit, isn't it? And also, it's such a broad range now. Yeah. Literally all of B2 seems to mean these days, unless you know the in and outs of what, how mechanically the boot is built, is the Welk on the back, so it's crampon compatible with a C2 crampon. Yeah. But that doesn't necessarily mean that, it could mean you're going to be, climbing Mont Blanc, which has suffered some extreme weather, but the altitude is nothing like climbing Mera Peak. So if you do have an unpredictably cold turn on Mera, it doesn't matter what B2s you have, you're going to be in a little spot of bother, temperature-wise, and your feet freezing. So, exactly. B3s, the dual layer B3s, you can't go wrong, really. They're going to be fine. Yeah, perfect. And also, as well, I know we're obviously talking, definitely throw a question out to the community, Andrew, as well, and in the Facebook group, because there's lots of people who've worn lots of different types of B3s and B2s. Interesting to get their feedback as well, and drop into an equipment store, especially someone like Ellis Brigham, some of our partners, Cotswold Outdoor, people who are more, they got obviously the technical aspects of it. Worth as well going to have a chat with them, just to hear about it. Just they've probably got an angle, especially with regards to some of the kind of newer boots that come on the market now. Obviously, we've talked about some of the B3s, like the Scarpa Phantoms, which are kind of up there really, and I'd say lots of Evertrekkers, because we've had some great summit teams this year. There's been a lot of those boots around, but obviously they're not cheap. There's significant kind of outlay, but massively important when you're on a Himalayan 6,000er and it's bad weather. You've got to look after your toes and your feet, right? Yep, exactly. But no, I thought that was a really good question. There was one actually. I think this was from Hannah, and I mentioned Hannah is booked on to Tour de Mont Blanc in 2026.
Can I ask about altitude sickness, please, on this particular hike? Because as a child, suffered bad ear infections, something get dizzy. Any advice, please? Would be my first big adventure. Yeah, Hannah. So I suppose there's probably a disconnect there. And firstly, I think potentially I've not heard that altitude affects ears as such. Obviously, different pressures can. It's like, if you fly in a plane, I don't know if you have maybe problems with that. But when it comes to the altitude, fortunately, and again, this doesn't mean it's easy, but Tour de Mont Blanc's one of our kind of easiest trips on altitude. It's different if you go into, say, K2 base camp, or you're doing one of our trips in Nepal. That's a lot of it is above 4,000 or 5,000 meters. Obviously, you still go over. You've got I think it's called Alpharet Pass, which is one of the highest points, but you're not there for that long. Majority of it, you're about 2,500 meters. So hopefully the altitude won't affect you as much, but I still would watch it with your ears. Certainly, try and keep them as clean as you can. I think on the Tour de Mont Blanc, the accommodation is a little bit kind of at market compared to some of our more basic treks. So you do have good wash facilities, plenty of wine. There's a lot of it's quite civilized because of where you are in the world. In the Alps. So hopefully there's not a kind of link between your ears and the altitude. Be interested if you've been to altitude, the last kind of 5 to 10 years, how that went. My advice would be just the same. Just make sure you're keeping everything nice and clean with your ears. Obviously, always good if you go out there and you haven't got some sort of build up and a cold, although you never know. So if that's the case and you struggle, maybe take some kind of meds that can help with decongestion. Just because I know that certain people of altitude, they get a bit clogged and a bit snotty and things, and that can obviously affect your ears because of your eustachian tubes and the way it works with your ears. So other than that, anything else?
I think sometimes in dusty environments, I've had to practically get a tiny shovel to get some of the dust out of my ears before. So if it is something that is particularly troublesome, just keep an eye out for the dust. Otherwise, second everything Andy said. I think maybe the pressure differential could potentially cause some ear issues. So I've been at altitude, my ears have popped a couple of times. When you yawn. I've noticed it on ski lifts as well. Sometimes when you go up, like on a big ski lift, you'll notice you have to equalize it a little bit. But like Andy said, I don't know if there's a correlation between altitude and ear issues beyond some of the just annoying things about trekking, like dust and things like that. But keep on top of it. If you've had quite a few ear infections, I guess you know how to deal with them. So maybe have like a little bit of a backup medi pack or something like that, ready to cope with it. But other than that, I'm pretty sure you'll be fine.
Fantastic. Well, look, guys, throw in some extra questions. But thanks for donated as well. I think Carl's donated, and I think some of the other guys. I think Simon there, great cause. Sorry, I know we're kind of skipping back to the Andy's Man Club stuff, but just while you're putting comments in, thank you so much if you've donated, and obviously, if it's over 20 quid, we'll send you one of those buffs, and then we want to see you guys out there doing this thing, because I think Jerome's made a really good point there. Of course, walking, hiking, trekking with a group is amazing. Lift. Anyone suffering from depression, loneliness, any of that stuff this time of year, it is great, and that's the important thing about community. Me and Dave have felt that over the years, meeting a lot of you on our training weekends, even some of our trips around the world. It's really cool to kind of experience that, and it helps us as well. Hopefully it helps you guys during that time as being part of a community.
100%.
It's massive.
That's one of the biggest messages from Andy's Man Club, which I think applies to everybody, is that it is okay to talk, So like learn the lessons of what they're trying to preach, and let's help each other out in this community and do good by each other. So great.
Exactly. And obviously, if any of you are looking to book a trip in December, every booking we will be donating £50. So for every booking. So if you are thinking of doing it either now or in January, or then obviously it's, you're also helping a great cause by doing that. So get looking for those trips.
Awesome.
Great stuff. Well, look, Dave, any final words? I think we've covered off.
I feel like I've covered
stocking fillers.
I feel like the fillers have been covered. I think that a voucher. So for anyone, if you can't make your mind up, because there's some great things there, but I think whatever helps you get it in the mountains, and I think this time of year is actually a great time of year to get it in the mountains. One of the things I've been doing a lot recently is trying to go out sort of and do walks and runs and hikes every single day, regardless of the weather.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, like the other day, remember I sent a little video to you when I was out running.
It looked colourful.
It was so rainy, but you know what? I was laughing to myself at one point because the rain was lashing down on me so bad.
Brilliant.
And I thought to myself, like, I think for too long now I've tried to avoid going out in sort of all those different conditions.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't want to go out and do a 10-mile, 10-hour hike in the rain, but doesn't mean you can't get out for a 1 mile, 20-minute walk. And I think that is really making a big difference. So yeah.
Well, I was listening to a book actually. It's called The War of Art. It's really interesting. Ever watched the Legend of Bonavance? I think it's called
The War of Art.
The War. I know it's the opposite of The Art of War.
I was thinking like I was like
it's a bit of a self-help book, but basically it's around. He talks about resistance, and what you're talking about there is all of us, you know, and almost subconsciously you have these little messages saying reasons not to do something. They call it the resistance, whereas obviously you've got to constantly fight against that resistance to do it. So you're winning at the moment, Dave.
Yeah, I am winning at the minute. I'm winning. I'm a couple of rounds up.
Exactly.
And it's because like I don't enjoy going out in the rain and the wind, but I realised that all right, maybe I don't go out all the time. I mean, in Wales you're going to go out trekking in the wind and rain, but sometimes I wake up and I think I'm going to go for a trek today, and I look out the window and I think, I can't be bothered. But that doesn't mean I do nothing.
Exactly.
Anymore. That means that you know
get
what?
out there.
If I'm not going out and I'm trekking, then I'm going to go out and I'm going to do a couple of miles running, but I'm getting out.
Yeah.
And I've been feeling amazing about it. And the cold dips. There's so much. Help each other out. Reach, you know. But this is all good stuff.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Well, look, we'll be back next week. I say we're obviously doing a lot. We will be sharing more on social media and. Do share yourself as well. Obviously, if you've got the Evertrek buff and you're out there and you're donating, you're being part of this with us this year. It'd be great to share. Don't forget to tag us, hashtag in the buff, just so we can see how everyone is getting on socials. But yeah, have an amazing week, and we'll see you guys next week.
Take it easy.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.